All right, so from the top here, Sunday morning inquiry, or May 17th. And who would like to do the work? It doesn't have to be you, Aaron. Let's put the feelers out for a moment here and see who needs to do the work. So
Yeah.
who's feeling like they'd like to do the work?
I would love to, Nathaniel.
Okay, wonderful. So let's dive in then. So what is the situation?
So my mum came over to meet her grandson this morning, and by meet, I mean look through the window at him and sit like meters away from him in the garden. And so the moment is, she's just arrived at our front window, and she's been through cancer treatment recently, so she has no, her hair's just starting to grow back. And she gets to the window, stop crying. And she's just crying through the window, like looking at him, wanting to cuddle him. And I really want her to cuddle him. So my thought is, I am sad with mum because she wants to cuddle her grandson, and COVID is restricting her.
And COVID is restricting her, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have a full worksheet as well?
No, I haven't got a full worksheet.
Okay. Would you like to gather that up now, and then we can go through the whole thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I'm going to type it into the chat if that works for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you read number 1 again?
I'm sad with mum because she wants to cuddle her grandson, and COVID is restricting her.
Okay. And does that feel like you could take that to the work? COVID is restricting her? Or is it, and that means something else?
It's like
Who is the worksheet on, do you think?
Well, yeah, it was on Life when I started to think about it. It's like she needs that cuddle. That's the thought, is she needs that cuddle.
Yeah.
And I want to give her that cuddle.
And if everyone else could mute, please, and then we'll keep the spotlight on Corrina. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you want to give her that cuddle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what is the emotion? It's sad? Anything else?
Sadness, yeah. Sad, heartbreak.
Yeah.
I am sad and heartbroken with mum because she wants to cuddle her grandson, and COVID is restricting her. She needs that cuddle. I want to give her that cuddle. I want her to be able to cuddle him. I want her to have that experience. I want her to be gifted by that. I want her to be comforted by that. I want her not to feel sad. She should imagine cuddling him so intensely it feels real. She shouldn't think this is forever. She should let the sight of him be a comfort. She should hold herself. She should have confidence she'll cuddle him one day. She should enjoy the sight of us cuddling him. And she shouldn't focus on what she can't do. I need her to feel complete even without that hug. I need her to feel close and connected with him even without that hug. I need her to feel that nothing is missing. I need her to be whole and content. I need her to be satisfied. She is heartbroken, bereft, crying, sad and in pain, empty. There's a hole in her heart. She's deserving of a cuddle. She's a cancer survivor and she's battle weary. I don't ever want to see my mum so sad. I don't ever want her not to be able to cuddle him. I don't ever want her to be deprived of newborn cuddles. I don't ever want her to miss out on the newborn phase. That's the bit that makes me want to really cry. That this is so finite. It's going to be gone and she'll have missed it. I don't ever want her to miss out on the newborn phase, on what we can't get back. I don't ever want to feel helpless to comfort my mum.
Thank you, Corrina. Okay, so for those listening, watching, observing the work, 4 questions and turnarounds, and let's see what this is really about. And also to notice that these sound like positive thoughts. They seem like reasonable thoughts. And it's always so much more than meets the eye. So let's go in and see what we can find. And let's start again at number 1. So would you read number 1 again when you're ready? And also the link at the top for everyone else who's observing, if you want to follow along the 4 questions and turnarounds, there's the Dropbox link right at the top of the chat. Okay, Corrina.
Okay, so she wants to cuddle her grandson, and COVID is restricting her.
Okay, so you have that mental image of the time and location, her at the window pane.
Yeah.
Okay, and you feel sad, you feel heartbroken in that moment.
Yeah.
So everyone there with her can see that image. Yeah. Okay. So, and you said she needs that cuddle. Is that the one we're starting with? Okay,
yeah,
so,
let's go for that. She needs that cuddle, yeah.
okay. So in that moment, there you are looking at her. She has, the cancer survivor haircut. And she needs that cuddle. Is it true?
No.
And how do you react? What happens to you in that moment when you believe that thought, that she needs that cuddle?
Like my heart just, ow, like my heart hurts.
And what emotions happen in that hurt? You believe that she needs that cuddle and she can't have it.
Sadness. Despair. I feel powerless. There's an ache in my chest. And it catches in my throat. I feel apologetic, like I want to say sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I feel restricted. I feel, powerless, restricted, unable to help, unable to comfort her. In that moment, I want to just break all the rules and just say, just come in and have a cuddle. Just come in, have a cuddle. It's fine. So it becomes the only thing that matters, like that. I want that to happen so badly. I want to just break the rules. I feel angry at the situation. And the future images that play are like, this is going to be forever. This is never going to change. She's never going to have cuddles with a newborn grandson.
Yeah, she'll miss the chance.
Yeah, he'll be gone. Like, he'll be 2 by the time she can, So there's raw anger at life. Yeah.
So then right in that moment, how are you treating yourself and her? How are you relating?
Well, we're both victims. We're both victims, and also I don't get to be a hero. I don't get to save her from her heartbreak. It's that powerlessness. So I treat us as unfairly treated by life. as victims of an unfair world, as having no power at all. I treat us both as having no power.
And where does it start in your body? Where do you feel it when you believe she needs that cuddle?
Yeah, it's my chest and my throat. It's the squeezing in my chest and in my throat, contraction and ache.
So as you witness your mother there at the window, who would you be without the thought that she needs that cuddle?
So I would be filled up by how much she clearly loves him. So I would feel gifted too by her visit and comforted by her visit. That we're so close, that we're just a window between us. So I'd be really taking her in, like really looking at her. This is the first time she's properly seeing her grandson in like real life, not in photos.
Mm.
So I would be just like drinking that in, appreciating what is there, what is happening. I wouldn't be sad. I would be happy for that meeting. Taking in her, taking in him, seeing how close they are just through a pane of glass. I can feel like a smile wanting to come in my, the feeling isn't in my chest and throat, it's like here, it's like, look there, what, like the joy of it. I would take her, like her sadness, I would just feel like the sweetness of that. Like, oh, look how much she loves him. Oh my gosh. It would be that feeling.
So is everyone traveling with her? Can you see it? So who are you without that story? So be there with her. They're meeting for the first time.
Yeah, I would have a lot of joy. I'd be very present, so I wouldn't be going off into the future of what might happen. I would see it's a sunny day. She's just walked like half an hour from her house to our house. I would be seeing that, like that she's coming into her health, like healthy strength after all the cancer treatment. So I would be really in awe of that and proud of her for that and inspired by her for that. So I would see her as strong, so I wouldn't see her as a victim. That she has walked here, I would actually be able to comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
Say, great job of walking here. That's impressive. I think that's the longest she's walked since. So I'd feel proud. And I would as well feel strong, so I wouldn't be a victim. I would feel strong that I'm standing with my son. So I would see us both as strong women, not as victims. Yeah, really like intensely present with that. Like this profound meeting of these three people, or four with my wife next to me. Yeah, so I'd feel power. I'd feel a lot of powerfulness of all of us as a family. Yeah.
What a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't experience there being anything missing. If I wasn't comparing with what I would want to be happening, it was just, this is how this family meets. Yeah.
So let's look at some turnarounds and see what says true or maybe truer. So she needs that cuddle. What's an opposite?
So she doesn't need that cuddle.
So in the situation as it is, why would that actually be true or truer?
Well, my mind's going actually first to she needs to not have that cuddle. So
Mm-hmm.
just for her safety and for his safety,
Mm-hmm.
it's more important that they don't have that cuddle, that the risk is too high.
That's
So she
reasonable.
needs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she needs to not have that cuddle.
Yeah. Yeah, to protect her, to protect him, for everyone to feel like we're doing like the right thing, that we're keeping safe, we're following the rules, we're not endangering anyone. And then she doesn't need the cuddle. She later, when she got home, sent a message to say how amazing it was to meet him, and we sent her photos of them meeting through the glass, and the message she sent later sounded satisfied, sounded content, and she sent the photos to the rest of my family and friends, and so she didn't need that cuddle to feel like she'd met him. That cuddle would have been, I don't know what, half an hour maybe. If she'd sat and cuddled him for half an hour, she would then still have needed to go home at some point. So
she didn't report anything that told you that that was true, that she needed the cuddle.
I mean, there behind the window, she looked like she did, and she said, "I want to cuddle him so badly," as she cried.
Mm-hmm. And she needs it.
Right, that's the difference. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
so
wanted it, but she didn't need
she
it.
didn't need it. So what was
She
the
didn't.
evidence? Yeah.
Right, she didn't need it. She didn't need it. She didn't say that she needed it. She said she wanted it. She didn't say she needed it. She doesn't need the cuddle. Yeah, I mean, for her, she doesn't need it to survive. She doesn't need it for, it's not like a drug that she needs to take to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't get her dose, she doesn't need it if she can either be satisfied with it as it is, or imagine cuddling him, or she doesn't need that cuddle. Yeah, she would have been gifted a lot by the experience generally of just seeing him and sitting in the garden. So that would have like topped her up, given her comfort to a certain degree. So she left with more than she came with. She got something from being there, for sure.
I have one as well for the other turnaround. She needs not to have that cuddle, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I've been doing the work with people on this type of situation as well. And what we found was I need her to not have that cuddle because of how bittersweet it is in that moment, just as it is.
Right.
It's so beautiful. It shows you how much she loves him and you.
Yeah. 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 I have such a strong image of her standing there, like crying and like having her fingers on the window. Like that's a different, it has a poetry to it. But
yeah. Isn't that so precious?
Yeah.
Every moment of that is precious and you'll likely remember it forever. It's like it might be more mundane if she just waltzed in and could hold the baby and
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she needs that cuddle. Is there another turnaround?
So I need that cuddle with him. I mean, I do. I love the cuddles with him so much. And I get them all the time. I don't have to share him with anyone apart from my wife.
And you're holding him in that moment?
We put him on like the changing mat so she can see him, but I was up until like a minute before that, yeah. So I need that cuddle with him. It calms me, it releases oxytocin, it bonds us, it comforts me. I love it. And I do love that I don't have to share him with anyone. That I don't have to pass him around all the friends and neighbors and family. And that is a blessing of the COVID situation, that I just get to like just hold him. And I need that cuddle because it makes all the kind of mundane, like changing nappies, feeding, all of that. It makes all that worth it when you have the cuddles as the payoff. Yeah, and I need that cuddle with her.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, just to experience that moment, to experience the closeness with her and the like embracing of her in that moment with that love that's being shown by her for him, like to embrace all of that and not to go to, this shouldn't be like this, it shouldn't be happening, the future's going to be like this. Like, I need to cuddle that moment with her, like this is what is happening right now and this is beautiful in its own way. I need to cuddle that and not reject it. That's what I'm doing. I'm rejecting that moment and making it not as it like, this is wrong, this is not what should be happening. Yeah, that's a really good turnaround. I need to cuddle that moment.
Yeah, I need that cuddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe because, love doesn't, or intimacy doesn't require touch.
Yes.
Because there certainly are people who touch each other who don't feel intimacy.
Right.
Love.
Absolutely. And actually, maybe maybe we all feel that love more because of that, like that pane of glass there in the way. It's like it's not as easily kind of got. So you see that, like the ache of it, the kind of longing for it. Like I really, really, really saw how much she loves him. And I don't know that I would have seen that if she'd cuddled him. Like it might, yeah, like you say, it have been much more kind of pedestrian. Yeah.
So what does Katie say? Reality is always kinder than the story we tell about it.
Right. Yeah. 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 So, I don't like.
So you want to give her that cuddle? Is that true?
I can hear him crying. I want to give her that cuddle. Is that true? I want to give her that cuddle. Is that true?
Yeah, just in that moment. Is that true?
No.
Okay, so turn that one around too.
Yeah, I don't want to give her that cuddle. There is something about the beauty of that moment. And I don't want to give her that cuddle, but with the current situation, because there's a risk to both of them. And I want to see her having that love and that connection with him. I guess it's kind of unconditional in that sense, that he's not giving her anything back in terms of, a little soft, warm body or anything. That she's just loving him in a one directional way. And I'm seeing the purity of that.
Adoration.
Just adoration. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't want to give her that cuddle. Yeah, I had such a good time with her. I don't know that if she'd had a cuddle with him that it would have gone that well. I don't know that it would have done. don't want to give her that cuddle. Yeah, because then I might be worried now that, like, oh, had they, you know, did they give each other something? Did she pass on some germs to him? I haven't got any worries about that now.
Yeah, that would be a lot more maybe to handle.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and to blame her for that. Or blame him for that if she'd then picked up something.
So you don't want to give her that cuddle. What I hear is the moment was perfect, just as it was.
Yeah. Yeah, without the story on it. It was perfect. It will stay in my mind. And I better tell him that story, and, you know, Nine, I loved you, you know, even when she couldn't cuddle you, she couldn't smell you, she couldn't hear you or any of that. She just loved you. Just, you didn't have to do anything. It's like you didn't have to do anything to be loved and adored.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that love? Isn't that love?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's something about, like, he really stays as ours, as mine and my wife's. Like, there is that kind of bubble that we're in right now where no one else kind of can go in. We've kind of got that. It's so clear who for him to attach to. You know, to have that really close attachment with both Sam and with me. There's no kind of confusion of where his home is. He's just, yeah. Yeah.
So you want her to be able to cuddle him? Is that true in that moment?
I want her to be able to cuddle him.
Like if you
My
had to
dream
choose.
world, right? My dream world. COVID's done. It's finished. It's over. Everyone's vaccinated or whatever. If I had to choose.
In that moment, you know, just in that moment, you want her to be able to cuddle him. Is that true? Is it actually true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know it's true that you want her to be able to cuddle him in that moment? See her there?
Yes.
And how do you react when you believe the thought that you want her to be able to cuddle him and she can't?
They're like, it's like I'm a superhero that doesn't have his superpowers. Like, I've lost my, you know, I don't know, the fire that comes out of my hands, or the ability to fly, or something. It's like I've lost. I'm down a power. I'm down a resource.
And how does that feel?
Yeah, powerless. Disorienting. I feel very apologetic. I'm so sorry that I can't make this. I can't change this. I can't make this better. So then I guess I lose imagination of, like, well, how to make it better. It's like I can't do that one thing, and so therefore I can't do anything. I feel out of options. I want her to be able to cuddle him. I strain out of myself in this kind of search for like, what can I do? How can I make this better? How can I give her what she wants?
So in that same moment, who are you? Who would you be without the thought that you want her to be able to cuddle him?
Well, it would be a lot simpler. I'd be out of a job. I wouldn't be looking for something to do. I would be jobless. Like, so it would feel a lot easier. I would be lighter, easier, more relaxed, accepting and embracing of what is happening, smiling. I would be seeing it as perfect as it is, and like really aware of the specialness of this, that this is like a heightened moment in that sense of, this isn't usually what happens when grandparents and grandchildren meet for the first time. So it would have that kind of wartime sheen to it, of like, this is special, this is a marked time. So I would feel part of something special and marked and heightened.
And you see you recalling that memory sitting here now?
Say again?
Do you see the memory of that moment sitting here now?
Very clearly, yeah.
So
very
who
clearly.
Are you right now as you recall that memory without the thought?
Yeah, someone just in
the
someone in the presence of a huge amount of love, very pure love, someone witnessing that pure love, someone very grateful for that love of a grandmother for a grandson. Someone seeing that my mum is alive, that she survived to be here, the other side of that cancer journey, to meet him, that it's marked for that reason as well. Like, we didn't know that she would get here to actually see him alive. So just really kind of awestruck by that this is actually happening. This is something we didn't know would happen, both in terms of her living and him living. We didn't know that the two of them would live, and then they have, and then they've met. And so I would be like wowed by that. And I feel that as a comfort in my whole body. Like, it does feel like it is like a hug. I'm experiencing like a hug, like it fills up my body with this hug of, wow, we made it to this.
A cuddle even.
A cuddle, exactly. Yeah, I do feel that. So it's not even that I'm just like cuddling the moment, like embracing the moment, but I feel it as a physical filling up of myself, of my own body, with the like, wow, we're here. Yeah. It feels warm and comforting.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about turnarounds? You want her to be able to cuddle him.
So I want me to be able to cuddle him. Again, it's just my favorite thing to do.
And you certainly can in that moment. Maybe if right in that moment you're the one who needs that, you can.
Right. Yes, right. And I could say to her, like, Mum, just like imagine this was, you holding him, and he feels warm and he feels soft and he feels all little. So I could, like, I want me to be able to kind of cuddle him and show her that and convey that feeling to her. I want me to be able to cuddle him. And really just to make the most of, like, already when we hit some really tough bits in the last 2 weeks, just I've been like, oh, just be done with the newborn phase already so that he can be easier and all of that. And it's like, no, I want me to just be able to cuddle him now, to stay in the, like, this is such a precious finite time, not to go to the future, not to try and like wish it away. I want me to really be able to stay and cuddle him now.
And what does that have to do with the turnaround to the self? I want me to be able to cuddle me.
Right. Yeah.
That moment.
Well, I've given myself some really hard times for a few things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. I haven't been very kind to myself. And I've done the classic like new mum guilt thing. And that's not kind. I want me to cuddle myself, to be much more kind and compassionate to myself, and forgiving and accepting and embracing. And that's definitely been missing. So I want me to be able to do that. That would make my life much better. It would be nicer for Sam to have me be kinder to myself, and it would be nicer for him as well, probably. He doesn't really know, but nicer for me anyway, and for her.
I hear some kind of turnaround, like I want him to cuddle me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I do. There's a great need in me for him to kind of forgive me for, you know, all the things I believe I haven't done well over the last 2 weeks.
Which I hear mothers, and even my own mother specifically say, when she was hurt, she'd go and hold me, and how healing that was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Why you do that. Yeah.
So you want her to have that experience in that moment. Is that true? It's like, do you prefer that to what's happening? You want her to have that experience. Is that true?
No. And I want to say where I found my no. Where I found my no is that if she had that cuddle and then she went home, she would be bereft of it again. And then she'd need to come back and get it again, and then go and then lose it again. And then it would be kind of conditional upon being there with him physically.
So you can't have it anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want her to have that experience because it's then transient. It doesn't last. I want her to have an experience that she can carry with her and that doesn't change when she's not physically with him.
And what would that be?
Or for her to experience him and
in other words, let's look maybe in the turnarounds. So you want her to have that experience. You don't want her to have that experience.
I don't want her to have that experience because I don't want her to think that it's dependent on him and on being like in our house cuddling him, and that it becomes like a drug where she gets a fix and then she goes home and then she's lost it and then she has to come back and get it again, and then she's thinking that it comes from the cuddle. So I don't want her to have that experience. I want her to, like, just as she could at the window, just experience him. When she goes home, she can experience him. And so there's no break in connection with him.
Yeah,
and that also like models for me, like, you know, when he goes, I don't know, to nursery or school or wherever he goes, or goes off traveling when he's a teenager, or like for me to know that it's not dependent on him physically being with me to feel that connection, the closeness. So we're kind of like she's modeling for me how to feel connected to someone when you can't hold them.
So you don't want her to have that experience in that moment because it's showing you what love is, or connection, and it doesn't require touch.
No, right. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want her to have that experience because of the risk and the fears that could come with that, taking that risk.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's less time for me to cuddle him as well.
Well, that's how we're about to go to the other turnaround. So I want me to have that experience. So what's an example of that?
Right, like she had 4 living children that she got to cuddle for many, many years, and I've waited a long time for this one, and I want me to just to have all the cuddles. Like, it's literally like I can't get enough. So I already have to share them with my wife. So I don't want to share them with anyone else.
And that's the other funny turnaround, is that I don't want her to have that experience.
I don't want
it all for myself. Yeah.
I don't want it all for myself. Yeah, there is definitely a part of me that. For every, because she would have sat in the garden and held him for half an hour, but I got to hold him for half an hour.
Isn't that funny? There's a mischievous kind of part of ourselves that's like, ha,
yeah.
He's all mine.
Yeah. And when I've thought about like being his mum before he was born, and I've thought, like, I want people to see me cuddling him rather than when you kind of give him to someone else, then they don't see you as, like, I want her to see me as his mum with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
For that image to be what she's witnessing.
Well, and you got it.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
And what does it mean at a deeper level? I want me to have that experience in that moment.
Right. To have the experience of, this is this perfect moment of her at the window with her hands there and the crying and the hair and the, like, I want me to have that and not reject it as this shouldn't be happening. To accept it, embrace it, love it, want it, not want it to be different, see it as perfect. I
mean, if you set it to music, how beautiful would it be, in reality?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we took pictures and videos, and they are beautiful. They are more poetic than if we had a video of her cuddling him for the first time. That it is. It's just very, very clear how much she loves him.
The great beauty.
Yeah.
So you want her to be gifted by that, is that true? Whose business is it if she's gifted by it? Who has control of whether she feels that way?
She is her business.
So you want her to be gifted by that? Is that true?
No.
Whose business is it if you feel gifted by that?
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
So turn it around. Do you want her to be gifted by that?
Yeah, I want me to be gifted by that. All the bits that I missed when I was believing this story, like the fact that they're both alive, the fact that she's walked all this way, I missed all of that. I didn't see all of that. So I wasn't gifted by, she's alive, he's alive, she's walked half an hour, she's smiling, she looks great. I don't see all that. So I miss a lot of the gift of it.
So, and can you feel that now? You want you to be gifted by that now?
Yeah, I really can. Yeah. Yeah, gifted by how beautiful it was and how much she loves him and how well she's done and how alive she is and everyone's safe.
And can everyone hear that this is not denial? It's not denying something she wanted. It's seeing what she's seeing through inquiry. She wants herself to be gifted by that, actually, what she missed, what was already present there. Or different.
It feels like watching like a scene in a movie where, but you're kind of distracted, like looking around or eating dinner or talking to someone, and then it's like, hang on, let's watch this movie scene again, and oh, all this was happening.
Right. Let's get even more present to reality, not more in
Yeah.
denial. Let's get
Right.
closer and see what
Yeah.
actually is present.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. A really healthy mum who can walk further than I would have thought she would have been able to at this point. Lovely sunny day, healthy baby, living baby. The love, like what is not to like about that? That's all beautiful. That's all a gift that I did miss. Yeah. So to be gifted by that, yeah, to look back at those photos on my phone and the videos and not see it as like, oh, she didn't get to hold her grandson, but look what this actually means.
Right. Now, each time you bring up that image,
Right.
there's
Yeah,
experiencing
exactly.
it with the story and then without.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
want him
And
to be gifted by that.
I do. And also like I can really see that I want to message her to say like how amazingly she did by walking here, and how well she looked, and how happy that I am that she's alive to have met him, and like to gift myself that, acknowledging all of that I
Mm-hmm.
missed at the time,
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't able to say to her at the time.
And so that's it, isn't it? To live that turnaround. Like,
Right.
give
Yeah.
her the gift of that acknowledgement, and that's the
Yes.
gift you get to receive. What a
Yes.
blessing. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Sweet.
To point out everything that was right about that, rather than just focusing on the bit that wasn't, the bit that was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you want her to be comforted by that? Is that true? It's like, by what is how I hear that now. You want her to be
Right.
comforted by that, by holding him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
No.
So let's just turn these around. So you want him to be comforted by that, turned around?
I want me to be comforted by everything that's happening in that moment. Yeah, I could find it very, very comforting that all of that's happening. That like any doubt I've had about, will she love him? Will she feel connected with him? To be comforted by like how completely obviously she does, and comforted by both of their aliveness and healthiness and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And also comforted by the fact that we're following the rules, that we're not, not endangering ourselves, putting ourselves at risk, not feeling like we're being a bit rogue or.
Huge comfort in that, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that we have a window in our front that she can see him through, and a back garden, and so I want me to be comforted by that. There's nothing out of place with this image. There's nothing out of place with this situation. Yeah, I want me to be comforted by that.
I also hear in living that turnaround again, be comforted in the gift that you get to give to her of, I think you said, the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And you want her not to feel sad. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
I hear Katie again saying, is it sadness or is it love?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I don't know. It's sadness. She doesn't call it sadness. She doesn't say, I feel sad. This is sadness.
So you want her not to feel sad.
I want her to feel sad.
Turned around, yeah.
Yeah, I want her to feel sad.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is, and like that sadness, like how it looks, like that is very pure, and it's very like it didn't last long. It just kind of happened. It was a real pure emotion, and then it went, and then it showed me how much she loves him, and it can feel really cathartic and good to just have that like outpouring of emotion. So I wouldn't want to deprive her of that and have her just be like, oh, happy, cuddle, cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something really powerful about what she experienced. Yeah. Yeah.
So she should imagine cuddling him so intensely it feels real. Is that true?
It's good advice.
All right. And can you absolutely know it's true? Instead of what she was doing, that she should
Right.
imagine cuddling him so intensely, it feels real.
No. No. No, I see. It's not. It's good that she doesn't go into imagination, that she doesn't like take herself out of that moment into images, that she
Yeah.
stays really present with. There's a child and I want to cuddle him and I'm like in love with him. And yeah, no, I see that's not good advice.
So she shouldn't imagine cuddling him so intensely it feels real.
No, she really shouldn't. Yeah, that would be going into images, going into mind, going into like a fictional world, and it would take her out of like she's really there. She's really with him.
And isn't it funny how that's actually what denial is, rather than getting closer to it?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, she's not in any kind of denial. She's really present with this is what is.
And then she can notice that her sadness is love, how much she loves her grandson and you. And
Yeah.
So she shouldn't think this is forever. Is it true that she's thinking this is forever?
No.
So turn that around.
No.
I shouldn't.
I shouldn't think this is forever. Yeah, I've definitely, in my mind, it's like she will not get newborn cuddles, and I don't know that that's true. I shouldn't think this is forever. It just, yeah, I mean, who knows? We don't know, and it just takes me into a fearful future. There's nothing really of benefit comes from that.
Yeah, you missed the moment.
I miss the moment, yeah. Yeah. Right, yeah, it's so out of the present moment. So I shouldn't do that because that moment, that meeting of him and her is beautiful in and of itself, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, and now is the only actual forever.
Right. Yes, right. Yeah. Yeah, and I see that I also get to keep that moment forever, that moment of them meeting. You know, even if mum dies tonight, like, you know, I've got that. I can really see that I've got something beautiful forever. Yeah.
So she should let the sight of him be a comfort. Is that true? Whose business is that?
That's her business.
Whose business is it whether you let the sight of him be a comfort?
That's my business.
So is it true she should let the sight of him be a comfort?
No.
So turn it around. I should.
I should let the sight of him be a comfort. Yeah. Yeah, in that moment, he's just lying there very peacefully. He's alive, he's healthy, he's well, he's not in any distress. That's hugely comforting. Just so comforting. I don't want to miss any of it.
And I should let the sight of her be a comfort.
Right, yeah, because she's healthy, she's alive, she's walked, she's clean and well dressed and put herself together, and she's doing really well. It's like I hadn't really clocked that, like, when we got the diagnosis, we didn't know that she'd be alive to meet him. And it's like the sight of her there in that moment is the kind of answer to that, you know, fear we had however many months ago. So let that sight be a comfort to me, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just to arrive. It's so funny, the
Yeah.
mind, huh? Like we had the last fear that's now being fulfilled, but we're on to the next.
Right, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's what mine does, yeah. So why don't we just try this on as advice to you? So I should. So this is your prescription for happiness. Here's how to be happy.
Yeah.
I should. Go ahead.
I should let the sight of him be a comfort.
And can you read the rest as well? Do you have it there?
Oh, right. Hang on. Yeah.
So again, for everyone watching, the prescription for happiness is 2, 3, and 4 turned around, lived to self and other. So how do you feel when you walk your talk? How do you feel when you live your values or take your own advice? That's integrity, which is also known as peace of mind. So it's like perfect. We write the prescription for them, but then we take it. So go ahead, yeah.
So I should let the sight of him be a comfort. Yes, absolutely. Just to be in that moment and all the moments with him, you know, when I'm worrying about him or getting caught up in poo and vomit or whatever, like just let the sight of him be a comfort. Just let him be, yeah, so comforting. It's very good advice. I should
From a
hold
good source.
Yeah. I should hold myself. Yeah. And stop being unkind to myself as I've been being. I should have confidence that she'll cuddle him one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that is true. I do have confidence that one day she'll be able to cuddle him in person, or I believe in, you know, something after life where cuddles galore happen. So I do have confidence that she will cuddle him one day. I should enjoy the sight of us cuddling him. Yes, my wife keeps saying we should take more photos of like the three of us because we're not. So I should enjoy that sight of us. And also like see us as a family. Like it's quite easy just for me to like just focus on him, but to actually enjoy the sight of us, the three of us, my wife, I, and him.
And what that means for you both, or for you all.
Yeah, to really stay in that family look. I should not focus on what she can't do. Yeah, I should focus on all the things that she can do, like walking and being there and loving him. And
it's the fulfillment of a wish.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
Your
and she
wish has
hasn't
been
held, like
granted.
it hasn't, like she hasn't held on to it. You know, she's been texting perfectly happily and telling all her friends, and she's not focusing on what she can't do. So I shouldn't focus on what she can't do and make that the story of.
And not for her sake anyway. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you need her to feel complete, even without that hug. Is it true that she doesn't?
Yeah, I can't know that, so no.
So turn it around. I need me.
I need me to feel complete.
Even without that hug. Or especially without.
Yeah, to feel complete, that this moment is complete. Perfect moment, nothing missing.
The way I kind of hear that is that I need me to feel the completeness of that moment without the hug. Which we've been doing here.
Yeah. And with all of it, like with all of the kind of first couple of weeks of motherhood and all the places where I feel like I'm failing, or, you know, I'm not doing a good job, or I'm not doing X, Y, Z, just to feel, it would be a lot nicer to feel complete and whole and like there's nothing missing. To feel completely enough and completely okay, and that is definitely a prescription for me at the moment.
Yeah, so again, for everyone listening, we're jumping ahead a little bit here, but in number 6, where I don't ever want to see my mom so sad, turn it around to I'm willing to.
I'm willing to see my mum that sad.
So it could happen again, yeah?
Right, because I could just recall that as love. It doesn't, like, I don't know that is sadness per se. It could just be that's how love pours out of her.
And I look forward to seeing my mom so sad. Why the heck are we looking forward to the thing that upset us at the beginning of this worksheet? So why would you look forward to that?
I look forward to her being that sad. because it heightens a moment, which makes me more present. It kind of gets my attention and gets me like, okay, this is what's happening right now. Kind of marks it in that way. It shows me how much she loves him. And it wakes me up when it kind of does that waking up thing. It's like, it wakes me up to he's alive, she's alive. This is happening. This is reality right now.
And it gives you the chance to live your turnarounds as well as the antidote. So read number 4 then, turned around the rest of it. So in the moment that you see your mom is so sad, I need me.
Right. I need me to feel close and connected with him and with her, even without that hug.
So there's how to do it. It's perfect guidance.
Right. Yeah. For there to be no interruption, no break in that connection and closeness. And I can add in, even without, I don't know, him sleeping through the night or all the things which might get in the way of me feeling close and connected with him. I need me to feel close and connected with him no matter what, and to feel close and connected with mom no matter what. Yeah, that's really, really true.
I almost hear it as like the invitation into that space of, well, like you said, being close and connected. Like, how close and connected can I get even without that hug? Because this is the temple bell that's reminding me of what love is. So let's look and see. Let's notice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, without the story in the way, I can just be completely close and connected.
Yeah, and like how close, actually. How close and connected. And maybe all the way.
Yes. Yeah.
So you look forward to mom being so sad, so that in that moment, I need me.
I need me to feel that nothing is missing. Yeah, it's very true. I need me to feel whole and content and to feel satisfied. Yeah. Yeah, to see nothing is missing is really very, very powerful.
Yeah. And if we need more guidance, we just go back to 3 or 2.
Right.
So the moment you see your mother is sad, let's try 2 and 3 as well. I want me.
I want me to be able to cuddle him.
Yeah.
I want me to have that experience.
To really have that experience.
I want me to be gifted by that.
And be gifted by it.
Comforted by it and not feel sad. Yeah, that's my business. That's within my power.
That you can, yes, that you can practice.
That you can
do. And same thing for 3. So in the moment you see your mother is sad or anything that you wrote there, I should
imagine cuddling him so intensely it feels real.
Or her, maybe.
And her. Yeah. I shouldn't think this is forever.
So there's the reminder. Remember, it's not forever.
Yeah. I should let the sight of him and of her be a comfort. I should hold myself and him and her. I should have confidence that she'll cuddle him one day.
And on that last one, it's because you're the one who's upset.
Right. Right.
She may be meeting the love of her life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And what's next then?
Yeah. I should have confidence I'll cuddle him one day. I should have confidence she'll cuddle him one day. Yeah. Kind of to believe in her ongoing survival and his. I should enjoy the sight of us cuddling him. I shouldn't focus on what she can't do.
And also, I kind of hear that metaphysically too. I should enjoy the sight of her cuddling him, because she is, in the sense of the intimacy and the love.
Right.
With her without the touch. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So experience that. That is the cuddle that is like the window cuddle.
And again, even better than someone who cuddles your child without being present.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I like that. There's a lot more emotion there. There's a lot more intensity there at the window than there would be if she'd come in the house and had a cuddle. And yeah.
And then the last one there is
I need me to feel satisfied.
and focus on what you can do.
Yeah. Yes.
That tends to be an empowering way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a really living turnaround way is to message her and name for her all the things that I just loved about that encounter with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
See,
all
that's
the things
beautiful,
I saw.
actually. Sometimes we talk about the work begins when the work ends for everyone else. Like we make amends first for what we found that we did, especially where we were judging others for what we found we're guilty of. I owe amends when I find that takes my ego out. It annihilates me. And then I show up in humility. I'm sorry, and what can I do to make it right? And what I hear here is it's not the amends so much as the gratitude or the blessing.
Yeah, all the bits that I missed, the bits that I wasn't able to say. It's a kind of making amends because I'm able to, to be able to say to her the bits I missed, the bits I kind of neglected to say to her because I was caught up in the story that I couldn't see it at the time.
It's like living the amends, maybe. Like
right.
You're already putting into action the way to make it right with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. So number 5 is an afterthought here, and for the sake of turning it around and trying it on, the self-portrait.
Yeah.
So I am in that moment.
I am heartbroken. Yeah. I am bereft. I am crying.
And isn't that a word, bereft? As if someone had died.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's a real sense of loss and something that should be happening isn't happening, and something that should be here isn't here. So it is a bereftness.
When she's not bereft, she's in reality, what is
right.
she? Very much alive.
Yeah. I am sad and in pain. Yeah, can feel that.
And she's not sad and in pain. What is she?
She's having an experience of love and intensity and kind of unguardedness. It feels like there's no brakes on her heart. There's no kind of shielding or, guard up.
Yeah. So she's not in pain. She's in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's not empty.
She's not empty. Well, she's certainly full of emotion. She's full of love. She's full of an outpouring of feeling and all of that. So there's not a hole in her heart. There's love in her heart.
And again, this isn't about denying what's going on. It's like getting even closer to it. Could it be?
Well, because actually a hole in the heart, you'd feel kind of like there's nothing there. It feels like a cold kind of nothing there feeling, and it's the opposite. It's like there's this pouring forth. It's like a waterfall kind of like a surging feeling and emotion there. So there's emotion in her heart, there's love in her heart, there's intensity.
Wholeness, maybe wholeness in her heart.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I'm just undeserving of a cuddle.
Gosh, after giving birth, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is very true. I am deserving of a cuddle. And just not see myself as just like a caretaker who has to kind of do all the functional, like feeding, nappies, like keeping him well, all that stuff. But just I can just cuddle him. That can just be what I do all day. I am a cancer survivor.
Not cancer, what?
Well, yeah, a survivor of birth.
Well, no joke, right? How many women in history
Right.
survive childbirth?
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a cesarean, so I survived, surgery
Mm-hmm.
and recovery and a hard time in the first like postpartum days. And I'm a my first son died, so I'm a survivor of a baby dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm a survivor and a survivor of my mum having cancer. Like I've lived through that. Yeah, that's a good one.
So a little battle
And
weary.
I'm battle weary. Yeah, it has felt like the first, like certainly 5-6 days really did feel like a battle. Oh God, and just the whole battle of pregnancy and well, yeah, 2 pregnancies within a couple of years and high risk pregnancy and pregnancy after loss and everything. I am tired, so I am battle weary. I mean, it's very, very true. Self-portrait, yeah. I'm weary, like I'm sleep deprived. Not too badly sleep deprived, but I am weary. I am weary, yeah.
So no wonder we would see someone else that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so now in the proper order of things, number 6. Oh, I see you and I see you. I see your face and your picture now for some reason.
I think it just briefly, my
Oh,
phone.
there. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My
now it's...
my battery's low. It might go again, but
Okay.
I can plug it in. So I'm
willing.
willing to see my mum so sad.
And I'm willing, let's read them all through that way.
I'm willing for her not to be able to cuddle him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing for her to be deprived of newborn cuddles. I'm willing for her to miss out on the newborn phase. I'm willing for her to miss out on what we can't get back.
How does that one feel now? You're willing for her to miss out on the newborn phase and not get it back. Why would you, let's say you look forward to that, why would you?
Why would I look forward to her missing out on the newborn phase? I guess it would challenge my assumptions about what's necessary in order to feel bonded with someone. It's like, could I still see her having a really strong bond with him, even if she didn't get to be with him for those newborn days? It would challenge some of my assumptions about early attachment, and I look forward to her missing out on the newborn phase. Well, and she's not missing out, right? We send photos and videos and she can come to the window and so I look forward to thinking that she's missing out on the newborn phase so that it can alert me to, hang on, is she actually missing out on the newborn phase? I look forward to her missing out on what we can't get back.
And then you have your practice, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of like really having that experience and being gifted by it.
Yeah. Well, it can really help me not to miss out on it. Again, like she had the newborn phase ×4 with her babies. This is my one and only, probably, like shot at it. And so I'm willing to like feel that she's missing out just to remind myself, like, hey, newborn, go, like, don't miss it. Don't drift off into story and it passes you by.
Yeah, so what a teacher again about what love is. It doesn't require touch. Or how could it be love? If it was dependent on that.
Right. I like that. How can it be love if it's dependent on that? Yeah.
Does that feel complete, Corrina?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Beautiful work. Brilliant, really. So everyone's piling back in. Let's do a little bit of feedback, little takeaways from witnessing this work here in the main room. So if you were here in the main room, what are you grateful for? What are you taking away? Go ahead, Erin.
That was a beautiful session. I'm realizing how I have drifted from the work, and I'm so happy that you invited me to this and that I saw this today, and I think I'm coming back week after week. And so yeah, that's my big takeaway.
Thank you so much. Who invited you originally?
You did.
I did. Oh, good.
You did.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So glad you made it. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us.
me too. Me too. And I think I might be able to introduce my husband to the work. He always thinks that Katie is cold reading, and for him to see somebody else do it, that would be wonderful.
That
So
that Katie is
maybe
what?
in the future. Cold reading.
Cold reading. What does that mean?
Cold reading, and that maybe she picks from the audience people who are so willing to have the inspiration and to.
Oh,
I'd like him to see somebody else do the work, and I think maybe this might be the way of that. So.
yeah. Well, I'd love to get more men into the work. So
Yeah.
please tell him I'm inviting him personally.
Sounds great. I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Who else observed out here? I'd like to give a takeaway. Yeah, Emma.
Hey, that was just so beautiful. And although my photo was up just in case my kids came in, I managed to get most of it, which is lovely. And it's the first time I've seen you, Corrina, since you've given birth as well. So it's just amazing. And yeah, it's just so beautiful to watch you go into such detail in a
You feel the love through the screen? Could you feel that?
I can't touch you, Corrina, but yeah, there's so much. It reminded me of sending love bubbles. Like, I can't remember, there's a lady, she talks about sending love bubbles to people like going past in their car or on the street. And like you do, and I've been doing this little healing group, and the amount of love that I feel, even doing it for my own son, like, you know, the amount of love I feel without being in physical contact with him. So that reminder throughout the session of, you know, this deep love that you can feel. And at the moment I can't see my partner, and so, you know, thinking about him connecting in that way, that kind of spiritual kind of way, just feels, oh, actually it could be deep, it could be, you know, more rich. It was really beautiful. And I'm a survivor. I loved, and it reminded me, you know, of like, I'm a survivor of a C-section. I'm, you know, like that really kind of brought something for me as well, you know, that kind of, and I can really relate to a lot of the stuff that you're going through as a new parent and things like that, you know. But I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, and I liked what you said about cuddling that moment, and how can it be love if it's dependent on that? I love that you brought that out, Nathaniel. Like, if it's dependent on touch, then that's not love, you know. And the other thing, Corrina, you said about the open heart, like it just showed that her heart was open. Like, if she was just numb to it, you know, and there were no tears or anything, but that open heart, open to everything, it's just, yeah, just beautiful. So thank you both of you.
Beautiful. I really just heard something you said there of like, because you said I can't be with my husband or touch him. Of course, that doesn't mean you don't love him. But that's what we're saying if we can't touch someone.
Yeah.
But of course we love them anyway.
Yeah, or just, yeah, that just connection, just the exploring all the different types of loving connection that you can have. I just think that's really beautiful to observe deeply. Yeah, and also it made me think about, I can hear my kids still up, bless them, and I just want to go and give them a cuddle as well, you know, like when the session's over, and just really deeply appreciate that cuddle and how important it is, you know, how much of a gift it is that I can cuddle my children. So yeah,
sweet, for the ones we can, huh?
Mm.
Yeah. Anyone else who was in the main room want to offer? takeaways? I think that might have been everyone.
I will.
Okay, yeah. Tina, hi.
Oh my God, that was so touching. Oh my God, thank you for the vulnerability and the willingness to honestly look at it. The part I loved was really looking at it through the lens of bittersweet and as an unusual moment in time, and how this will imprint in our memories so much more than an ordinary moment. And oh, it made my face well up, but not in a sad way, in a touching, connected to everyone way, and how there's two ways to look at these events that are occurring as, or what the gifts are that they're bringing. Thank you for that. Gosh, that was so good.
So gorgeous, huh? Thanks for recapping that in that way. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording so you guys can